back to another Ask Jim. Tonight we're at the Foothills Conference Centre for Ask Jim 44. So we've just had training. We've got all our lovely franchisees here that you heard at the start. So they've just finished their 3 days generic training. We've got man himself, Jim Penman, founder and CEO of the Gyms Group, here with us as always, and two guests tonight from Termite and Pest Control. We have Stephanie and Linton. So thank you for coming on. Really appreciate you being on. Do you want to tell us a little bit about Pest Control before we start?
Yep. Pest Control is a division that started with gyms back in about 2010. Got going quite well in the early parts. We had a lot of new pest control businesses that wanted to come on board and use the Gyms brand, and we've steadily grown the division since then.
So we've got about 80 something, haven't we?
84.
84. So it's going not
and
too
two
bad.
in the works, so it's going well.
All right, so fantastic. So we'll take a look into the live feed now. Oh, sorry, I've just lost it. Hang on. I swear I'm a professional.
Oh, Jake.
I know.
You get sacked if you do this.
I know. That's terrible. All right, so we've got Sal John tuning in, always tunes in, says, hi guys. Jim's memeing has said the letter C is absolutely useless. The letter C makes a K and a S sound, but guess what? The letter K and S already do that. Why do we need this S? Why do we need the C? That's a very bizarre question from Jim's memeing, so he's living up to his name. David McDonald has said, g'day Jim, have you watched The Mandalorian? So you're a big Star Wars fan. So on Disney Plus, the new streaming service for Disney,
Mandalorian, what is that?
They have a Star Wars TV show now.
Really?
Yeah, so featuring Boba Fett, right, the bounty hunter from Star Wars. So Disney Plus, you might want to check that one out.
5 episodes so far, and little baby...
Baby Yoda has taken the internet by storm. So little Yoda, but he's turned to a baby size.
What's that one about Han Solo's character?
They had Solo, which is
Solo, yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah.
That was terrible.
The Mandalorian's quite.
I like the first 6 actually. I like the story about how my hero, Emperor Palpatine, comes to power. That to me has real point to it.
Yeah.
You know, it teaches you a lot about ambition and
Yeah, so I think you might enjoy the new one. I think there's been a couple of rumours that your good friend's coming back. So
Palpatine's coming back.
He might be. I don't know. I haven't heard anything. Haydar Hussain said, hi guys. All right, so we'll get to our first question for the night, which is from Darius in the audience. There he is.
Named after an ancient Persian emperor who tried to invade Greece, you bad guy.
Thank you for the introduction. My first question will be, where do you see yourself, where do you see your business in the next 2 years?
Well, we hope to do a lot better actually. We've got a lot of really great stuff going with particularly software-wise, with Jim's Jobs, which not only going to be a great program for franchisees to run their businesses with, but also and reduce their time and effort, but also a lot of features that will help to reduce complaints. Like, for example, reminding franchisees to ring back clients promptly. And, letting franchisees check up if they're not ringing back fast enough, so to help people to do better. So we actually think we can dramatically reduce the number of complaints and improve customer service. That's one of the best things I'm looking forward to. We're investing a huge amount in IT right now.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, absolutely. It's the same thing. Investing in that IT, because the franchisees, when they're out in the tools, they really struggle for time. And to have automation and that behind, like something like Jim's Jobs doing that for you, that's a plus.
You get a job, click through, you go tap like that, you call the client, another tap, it'll send a message if you don't get through, you can put it in your system, you can send an invoice, the whole thing, just cut down the amount of paperwork and improve the service. IT is a very big option for us, very big potential.
Yeah. Do you have any long sort of those two within those 2 years? Any other goals just specifically for Termite and Pest Control?
Termite and Pest Control division, we've come through a fairly sort of reconstruction, rebuild of the division, and now we're just at the point, at the precipice of something really special. Leads and everything else is just starting to tear off and go away.
So you had some tremendous time, like you just told me this afternoon. The leads are way up what they have been in the past.
There's about 3 or 4 states that have set goal, highest ever recorded leads in the whole year, and we haven't even finished the year yet.
And this is not paid advertising. This is basically really good SEO, having the right stuff on the kind of the material on the websites that gets people interested in it, which is what Google likes.
Yeah, we've spent probably 6 months sitting in front of the computer just writing all new original content that's not anywhere else in the world. And Google's just rewarding that big time,
That's fantastic. Something
which leads to massive leads to our franchisees, which is good.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. So SEO always a great investment. So more of that technology. Cindy Chambers has said, "Good evening, all." Cindy here, so hello. I think she's dog wash. I'm assuming. She put a little dog emoji. Glenn Sharp has said, "Hey fellas, hey." Joel Ryan has said, "How do you ask a question? Just leave it in the comments. We'll ask it to Jim." Lorna Riley has says, "If you sell a franchise, why does Jim get 20%?" Good question.
Jim wants 50%, but you know.
No, I like it all. No, actually, in fact, I don't. What actually happens is the franchise. I suppose it is. Depends on the division, actually, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So we basically do what we do. I mean, we run IT. We look after the customer service. I mean, we're spending like millions of dollars a year on IT right now. It's got to be coming from somewhere. And things like social media and so forth, running all that sort of stuff, which Joel does. Contracts, we do contracts. We sort out disputes. We train and support franchisors. We just do a lot of stuff, and we can't do it without money.
Exactly. You need that income coming in, otherwise you can't afford it.
I think the thing that surprised people actually is that people who are familiar with Jim's group, they think that I am fabulously wealthy. They tried to put me down for the BRW Rich 500. I'm not even in the same order of magnitude. And that's because, in actual fact, it's a fairly small stream. Out of what a franchisee does, we pick up about 1 or 2% depending on the division, and that's our gross income. So it's actually quite a small margin. But the one makes it work, of course, we've got so many. We've got nearly 4,000 franchisees, so that does amount to a bit. Well, we can always do with more. There's always more stuff we'd like to do.
Yeah. So Glenn Sharp has said, "Still waiting on my info pack and signed book." So we'll get that out to you. Signed book, we'll look into that, see if we've got one for you. Eric Jurgens from Jim's Mobile Cafe has said, "Hey guys," always tunes in. Haydar Hussein has says, "Does Jim know who were the co-founders of the Pest Control Division?" Bit of trivia.
Co-founders? Do you know? It was, what's his name, John
Patton and Haydar, wasn't it?
Haydar was it, was he?
Yes.
Yep.
He was in the background.
Really?
There you go, multi-talented Haydar. Knows a few things. All right, we'll go to our next question from, I'm assuming, is that Charlie? Charjuice? I don't know. Mike's handwriting.
Chrissy?
Terrible. Chrissy?
Maybe.
Chrissy? Yeah, we'll go Chrissy.
It looks like Chrissy.
That's shocking, mate. That's terrible. That's terrible. Charju? I'll show you after the show and you'll see. It's Charju.
I was just wondering if you have a New Year's resolution.
No, not as such. It's always the same. I mean, every day you try and do better. Just better service for customers. The thing I think about New Year's resolutions is that I read a wonderful book, audio book called "Your Future Self Will Thank You," and it really was very, very inspiring. And one of the things it says is that you don't want to do a whole lot of things at once. You focus on one thing at a time. So whether it's exercise or whether it's diet or whether it's doing more in a certain area, and you try and build a habit. And work on that. Too many people, you make a whole lot of New Year's resolutions and they just fall away over the next few weeks and they become nothing. So I'd say just one thing.
Stephanie?
Yeah, I don't make New Year's resolutions because by the 2nd of the month I've lost it all.
My New Year's resolution is probably spend more time with my kids and that.
Yeah.
But these days I probably spend more time in front of the computer typing SEO content. So.
Right. Yeah, no, that's good resolution. David McDonald has said Mike's counting is terrible too, so illiterate and can't count. So there you go.
Can't count, not right.
Eric Jurgens also says, was that Mike just walking in front of the camera? Yes, he has no etiquette. He just they go around the camera. All right. We'll go from our next question.
I tried to get everybody to give him scores of 1 in the ratings, but I don't think anybody listened to me.
Yeah, I put my head into your training session this afternoon. Everyone seemed very captivated for it. They seriously, I think, loved it. I've got a question here from now. There is a bit of a theme tonight. I've noticed. I flicked through the question. There is a bit of theme. You can tell me what it is. There might be a prize in it for you. Charlie Cooper earlier in the week says, "Jim, what is your favourite Christmas memory?"
When I was a kid, it was the most exciting time of the year. Without any, it's my parents used to do, my mother, I suppose, a pillow slip. wasn't a stocking, it was a pillow slip, and she'd stuff all this stuff into this pillow slip, often bulked out with a balloon or something big, and you wake up on Christmas morning and you see this thing on the edge of the bed, and that was the most amazing experience. I love I hate getting presents now, actually, that's the thing, except for my kids when they draw things. But when I was a kid, that was spectacular. But Christmas was really good, because Christmas was the one time of the year you had luxuries we never had, like chicken and soft drink. That was just unknown in my childhood.
Yeah. Anthony Linton?
Probably the biggest memory I have is always going and visiting family and visiting grandmas and all that. Those memories are with you for life, you know, sit down and having just lunch and tea with them. Yeah. You don't see much during the year, but just having that time,
Yeah, I used to remember we'd get up, open all our Christmas presents, and then Mum would be like, it's time to go to church, and we'd be like, and then we'd have a 2-3 hour drive to go see the rallies for Christmas. Then it was like, oh, when do we get to play with our toys? But yeah, we always were allowed to take one toy with us when we went. But,
Right.
yeah, they were always good times.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. All right, and so for anyone that doesn't know tonight, we've got a couple of prizes as well for best questions. So make sure you get your comments in. We've got 2 $100 gift vouchers. So for the best 2 questions, we'll give those away. And Dog Washer's also given a little Christmas hamper, which has all little goodies for a dog. So if you've got a dog,
Now, what's that? A dog? Is this a dog?
that is a dog little dog costume.
A dog costume for your dog?
Yeah,
My
I reckon
goodness.
Apollo would
I
look
think we're
great
going to
in
show
that.
this, and this is
A chew toy, which I think Apollo
chew
would read
toy,
through in about a
yes.
second.
Squeaky.
That
bone,
we love. No,
the
it's a little
bone,
pigsy,
yeah,
yeah.
very good.
Love that.
and we've got a cologne for dogs. My goodness,
Really pamper that.
colognes
pig.
for dogs. And this is a
I think that's a little 10% off Jim's store. Jim's dog wash.
wow
shop.
pair of scissors.
Now I can have my dog.
This is
My
this
dog
is
smells
very
as
good
as
stuff.
when
This is good value.
Yeah, so if you've got a, I think it's $44 normally. So if you've got a dog, whack a question in, and we'll be sure to give that to you. Now we've got our next question here from Denise.
Okay, my question is, what would you like for Christmas, Jim?
I'd like somebody to want to fund my research on a big scale. Somebody comes along and says, "Hey, here's $10 million," and you can start really developing that more than anything. The thing is, ordinary stuff I can always get, but the only presents that are really special, something for my kids. But if I could make my research work, and I could change the world, do some incredible stuff.
I'd like for Christmas not to have to actually do anything on Christmas Day. You know, you have people over, you have to actually cook, wash the dishes, all those things. I'd like to just do nothing for the day.
Me, probably just spend a bit of time with my son, maybe take him down the banks of the river and catch a fish with him.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Very family orientated. No, it's real good.
I don't know that's illegal. Using your son for baby. You better just check on that.
Well, if you tie the rope around and you throw them in, and as they latch on, it's
It's good for sharks, I think, but most
river-
fish should be too small.
We're a bit sensitive, so we just do it the river fishing.
Right, yeah, okay.
Alrighty. So I think we've got here. Is this from Michael? Michael's your next question. Mitchell. Oh no, come read that, Mike. Tell me what that is. What is that supposed to be?
That'd be Rachel.
Rachel. That's an M. M?
Yeah, that definitely looks like an M.
Thank you.
It does now
Voice
you
is not
mention
that
it.
deep. Okay,
She hasn't
Jim.
got that better squash game. She's supposed to be practicing to get better.
I know. New Year's resolution.
New Year's resolution.
Be better at squash. What are you going to buy Lee for Christmas this year, Jim?
Sounds like she's putting up to this one.
I usually get some jewellery. She likes jewellery. No, I don't buy it for Christmas so much. Her birthday's 2 days after Christmas, so I go to the stores on Boxing Day for the sales. Hey, I might be rich, but I'm stingy.
Nice. Ruthie G has gone, can Linton and Stephanie explain the different aspects of pest control available? Those that haven't used it may not be aware what can be done for them.
Oh, everything.
Oh, everything. Pest control, spiders. Even Christmas time with flies and that come around annoying you when you're outside enjoying your barbecues and that. You can spray and keep all those down, keep the mosquitoes down. Possums, rats are any annoying, keeping you awake. there's just so much we can do.
But the question is, what can you do about the worst Christmas pests of all, which is unwanted relatives?
Ah,
You set up a trap, like the one that, like the safe one.
yeah.
Right,
You
Like all linked to the back.
must have some sort of service. Can we put a service
There
code down?
actually is. It's what we do is you can actually outlay some sticky pads
Yep.
at the front door, and as they come in, they get stuck and they can't actually get in the front door. So yeah,
Clever. That's clever.
Either that or you all hide in the back of the house and pretend you're not home.
Right.
Just watch them.
It works better for relatives than rats.
Yeah. Otherwise, you lose your house to a rat. Eric has said, I'm in the middle of a New Year's resolution working towards giving up smoking. I am no longer take cigarettes with me when I go out on the road selling coffee. That's fantastic,
That's very
Eric.
good.
Yeah, that's good.
Smoking, not great. You have a pheromone that would fix smoking addiction.
We think we can actually help people with that kind of thing.
Yeah, we talked about it a lot you talked about it with Joel on the podcast.
Addictive behaviour is very much the kind of thing we'd like to be able to cope with. Smoking is a terrible addiction, it really is.
I need the one for sugar.
Nutella for Jim, I think would.
Yes, yeah. That's my thing. I've got a Yadrin insurance. I said, Yadrin, I'll give you $10,000 if you'll give up smoking for 6 months. But the first time you have a cigarette, you got to pay me $10,000. He's never accepted it. Actually, he didn't want me to tell his wife because she would want him to.
Every time I see him, I said, I thought you were telling me you were quitting last time. Never does.
It's a horrible thing, smoking addiction, isn't it?
Yeah.
So thanks for that, Eric. Glenn Sharp has said, what type of mower do you use and why? This question comes from my 10-year-old son.
Actually, I personally use a battery-powered mower, an AEG, on my farm. But I reckon the new Ego ones are good. I like the battery-powered.
Yeah, we sent you out with an Ego one.
Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah, that's excellent. So thank you for that, Glenn. Ricky, who's Eric's wife, says you're being cheeky tonight, Jim. You've been in a pretty fun mood. You were cracking jokes earlier. Yeah, having a good time.
Well, what's the point of having guests if you can't make fun of them? I mean,
Exactly.
It's the one time you can.
That's right. Do it in public. Humiliating in public. That's why everybody wants to come on this show, doesn't they?
Exactly.
Only once, though. After that, they've had enough.
Yeah, we generally don't get repeat guests. It's quite interesting. Eric says, I'll take that deal, so you might have to sign him on for that one. Ruthie G says, Jim's in fine form tonight. That he is. He's doing real well. We'll go our next question here from Pedro.
Hi, Jim. Has anyone ever cut your grass?
Does anyone cut your grass?
Yeah. The people from the conference center, we've got a rider on, they go over and cut mine, which is 5 acres next door. But I cut my own grass at the farm. At my farm. I do that. Yeah. That's what I use my AEG for.
Yeah. Thank you for that question. Brilliant. Nothing else.
No, actually, myself, I actually prefer gardening. I like getting out there with the spade and the shovel and slashing bracken and taking weeds out and stuff. I really enjoy that more than mowing lawns these days.
Thanks for that question, Pedro. We'll move on. Next question's from Jim. Jim. Great name, Jim. Jim.
Sorry, I was just laughing at that one.
Jim, have you been naughty or nice for Santa this year?
Hey, listen, I'm always naughty. I don't think Santa gives me anything. I haven't had a present for Santa for 60 years, for heaven's sake, so I must be pretty bad.
Naughty, nice?
I'm definitely on the naughty list.
Naughty list?
Yeah, naughty.
Yeah, a lot of pests taken out this year, so...
The nice list is overrated.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, what can you say when my major role models are Montgomery Burns and Emperor Palpatine? I mean, that tells you everything you need to know about somebody, surely.
Yeah, they're the list.
Who do you admire?
All good. James Lyon has said, hi everyone, go Jim's Pest Control. So we've got a couple of fans in the audience, which is great. He also says... slipping the 50 after the show. He's also said, hi Johnny G. Not sure who Johnny E.G. is, but he said hello.
Victorian franchise.
There you go. So we'll go from our next question from Gina.
Hi Jim. What do your kids leave out for Santa?
Carrots, biscuit, milk, normal stuff.
Normal stuff. Don't leave him a beer.
Yeah. But it's getting to the end of it. My 10-year-old son just asking me some serious questions about Santa. He's starting to smell a rat.
Yeah.
So it's getting...
Get rid of that rat.
But my father was he was a mean one. I remember once when I was quite young, I approached him and said, "You're really a Santa? Is there really a Santa, Dad?" And he said, "Well, a friend of mine started to doubt Santa, and he never got any more presents ever." And that scared me straight.
Yeah, we were always told if you don't believe, you don't receive. So even now, we still, hey, I want my presents.
Yeah.
But we put lights out on the on our lawn. So we put lights for the runway. We put hay out for the reindeers, water, and then we put carrots and
then it's amazing how big a mess it is in the lawn.
they
chucked everywhere.
make a terrible mess.
Thoughtless.
Those reindeer, I don't know. Jim's pest control really doesn't need to do some. You don't have Jim's reindeer removal. Come on.
We could have used them.
Do you have a method for getting rid of bigger animals? Could you get rid of a reindeer?
Yeah, we could.
Yeah.
Yep.
We went to your house.
Yeah, we went to your house.
I won't go there.
We're licensed to do all sorts of different things.
Yeah.
Some parts of pest control is, not a glamorous field, but unfortunately in some situations it's necessary. So,
So Santa, watch out.
Yeah.
All right. Eric has said, Jim, can you please tell us, for someone who is thinking about joining, what would be the main advantages of becoming a franchisee? Jim's franchisee is if you already have a business and have plenty of work and wouldn't be taking leads. Also some of the benefits. So not taking leads, already have a business. What would the benefits
I'd
be?
say if you're doing that, well, you probably shouldn't buy a franchise. Anyway. Unless the reason you'd want to become a franchise probably is to become a franchisor or something like that, and that sometimes does happen, or start a new division maybe. That's the kind of person who would tend to come across next as a leader. But listen, if you actually started as an independent and you have made a success of it, and you got plenty of work, and you're making good money without the franchise help, you're pretty good.
Yeah.
There was somebody here, I don't know if you're in the audience too, who's developing a window cleaning business, and he's been going for about a year, and actually surviving, which to me is very impressive. You've beaten the odds, which indicates that as a franchisee, you'll probably do extraordinarily well. So yeah, I think anybody in that position has 90 to 95% of these kind of businesses fail in their first year as independents. So if you get through that, you're a star.
Yeah. What I'd say though is quite often an independent's out there by himself, and he hasn't got the camaraderie and mateship and that around him. Whereas within gyms, he joins that and he's got 10, 15 other guys he can talk to. Whereas when you're out by yourself, you're just out in your vehicle and you're just driving along from one job to the other. You miss that. And a lot of guys come and really enjoy that sort of bonding, which they don't get in their own business. There's also a huge advantage with vehicles and discounts that you don't get by yourself.
Of course.
Yeah. Well, look, it's obvious thing that people who stop taking work really leave.
Yeah.
Occasionally they will. Mostly they keep on because they do see the ongoing advantages. So once they're in the system, they tend to stay.
Yeah.
But getting somebody who's successful already and independent, it's not that common to have them come across, except when they want to take a leadership role of some kind.
Yeah. One of my favourite phrases that I've heard while I've been here is you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. So there's that huge sort of support network that you have being in that franchise system. But for Eric's friend, you probably wouldn't recommend a gym franchise for him.
What business is he in?
Didn't say the business. Just he said
I'll
he
tell you
wouldn't.
what, if he's got a great business we don't have, come and have a talk to me and see if we can franchise it. That's one possibility.
Might even give Eric a spotter's fee for it.
Because that's how these things start. We didn't start pest control. Somebody, I think it was John Patton, came to us and said, I'm in the business already, I'm successful, but I want to grow all over Australia. So, and the same thing with test and tag, same thing, dog wash, everything. They basically start all the same way. Somebody who's in business already successful, but still, I want to be big.
And there's also the opportunity for, as you say, for him to come along and buy a region, become a franchisor, and pass on his knowledge and his experience. For someone like that to pass on their skill set is huge, and will benefit other people. So.
Yeah, so there's definitely benefits of coming on board. So thanks for that one, Eric. Gabrielle has said, hi Jim, if you could choose one dream research goal for the new year, what would it be?
Well, we're actually want to test some pheromones. We've identified 5 hormones that are more prevalent in calorie-restricted rats. And we know the urine from these rats has a remarkably good effects. So we're actually trying these pheromones one after the other. We're going to try them on rats over the next few months, and we're going to see if they have the effects that we want. And if it's good, I want to try it myself. They're reluctant to give it to me, but I said I want to do a personal trial to see whether it has the effect that I want, and then if it works well,
start putting in the coffee in the staff room.
We'll do some limited human trials first, but
At gyms.
Yeah, with all new franchisees coming on board.
Yeah. I noticed you were putting some new air conditioners in the training room this week.
Yeah. Our franchisees could probably even provide the rats.
Yeah. Now, not necessarily research goals, but new goals. Any big goals for the next year? Any milestones you want to hit?
So for the Termite Pest Control Division, we definitely want to hit 100 franchisees by the end of the year.
Yep. What are you at now?
We're at 84 now with 2 in the works, so 86.
Yep, so pretty close.
So we're pretty close, and we expect that we'll go past that well and truly.
they'll join the elite. There's 8 divisions that have got 100 plus, and that's so they get two core flute signs in the training room. So you're going for the second core flute sign.
Yep, that's what we're going for.
Very prestigious.
If you got one, if you got 50 or more, you get 1. If you get 100 or more, you get 2.
Yeah.
So there's 8 already, which is mowing, cleaning, test and tag, fencing, antennas, dog wash,
We missed it.
Building inspections.
building inspections, and pool care.
Yep.
And now you reckon that
We will get
pest control is going
Absolutely.
to be the next.
There's a few floating around that mark, so we'll see who's there first. We'll see if there's a bit of a race.
The
It's a bit of a
competition's on
race.
now.
The race is on. All right. So Paul Kirby said good day to Jim and Denise, who is in the audience.
Oh, Paul, you got to give me a game of squash.
No,
No,
yeah.
this is Paul from No Warren.
Paul Kirby, yeah.
That's the one.
Representing Jim's bookkeeping. So Denise in the audience.
I hope he's not so much for chicken as Rachel. That's all. Hey, come on! You played once.
New Year's resolution, I'll beat you.
It's a big call. It's a big call. Lloyd arranged a huge contingent of bookkeepers to network with the trainees today, which yielded plenty of queries. That's
Yeah, it was good. They were
fantastic.
coming around the
Yeah.
tables and they were actually taking contact. It was good.
Yeah,
I like people use each other.
Yeah.
We want to use each other. I'm using lots of gym services. I had my gardens done yesterday. I had my dog washed on Monday. I had David come around and fix my signs that was last week or whatever. So
Yeah, we have Jim's dog wash come around. We have Jim's cleaner come around and clean the house. We have Jim's lawn mowing come and cut the lawns.
I should hope so.
So that's great.
Oh, that's good.
I drive home and the lawns are just perfectly cut every day. It's great.
Do you want to give you a franchisee that does it a shout out?
No, Jim, no, because then people want to use him.
Oh, yeah, you got to keep him
No,
safe.
Jim's clean guy's a new guy. He's just started about 6 or 8 weeks ago.
6 or 8 weeks ago, yeah.
So, yeah, it's really
It's
good.
pretty good.
Yeah, that's real good. Glenn Sharper said 100% I own my own lawn mowing business and have been going for 6 months. Find it lonely on the road. So, so being by yourself, it can be a little bit isolating.
We have found that people who've been in business for themselves, when they do join gyms, usually because they want more work, they get a dramatic rise in income. You're like a guy who's he'll treble his income in the first week, this kind of stuff. So it can have a very big effect because they know the basics.
Harrison Toth has said, good evening, Jim. What inspired and pushed you to make the Jim's book? So this one here, cheers.
Well,
You wrote that with Catherine.
well, no, she wrote it.
Oh, she wrote it, yeah.
You don't think I wrote that, do you?
No. Your name's not on the book. Well, it is on the book, but it's not on the book.
It's Jim's book. There's stuff in there that I wouldn't necessarily have said myself. So she interviewed a lot of people.
Yeah.
So it's Catherine's book. But I worked on it with her. I thought it was a worthwhile project and people should see the warts and all. Plenty of warts. But it's interesting. Actually, it surprised me a lot of that stuff. There were things I just didn't know about that people... This was going on in the early days of gyms.
Yeah. And Paul Kirby says, yes, squash for sure. So it looks like you got your next challenger ready to...
Well, next time you're up around, you just send me an email and we'll play.
Yep.
Until Rachel can get herself off the ground and...
Yeah, sloppy form.
I'll never let you get away with that.
Although you've been playing Leo as well.
Oh, Leo's good.
Yeah.
Leo's good. And actually, big news, after how many years, the Shire of Yarra Rangers has given us permission to have our sporting complex.
It's going in. It's happened. Gym for gym.
Yeah.
Right,
So
hashtag
within
complete.
about 6 months, people are coming here. And those who come back can actually have a game of racquetball, heated pool, gymnasium, everything. We've been asked for years by franchisees, and we just couldn't get it past the council.
I can't believe we're 30 minutes in and it hasn't come up. We've been sitting here talking waffle, and the gym for gym is going to be
Just
built.
got the news on Monday.
All right, that is fantastic. We'll go our next question from Sandra in the audience.
Hi, Jim. Do you have a favorite Christmas cracker joke?
Oh, you're asking a bit much with that one. I know lots of jokes, but nothing about Christmas crackers.
Have you not seen the jokes in the Christmas Carol? They're really, really bad jokes.
It's a really bad
They're
dad joke.
shocking.
All my jokes are really bad.
That
jokes.
is true. Do you want to give us a joke? We got time. You give us your best, your worst joke, your best worst joke.
I don't know what I've told you. Have I told you the one about the guy who was in a bar drinking, staring at his drink? Did I tell you that one?
No, go for it.
All right. There's this guy sitting in this bar, staring at his drink and staring at it and staring at it and staring at it, just fixated like that. And this other guy who's like a trucky big guy, he's been looking at this guy and he says, "Look, I'm gonna really show this bloke over." So he goes over and he picks up the drink from right in front of him and he downs it like that, drinks it down, puts it down. And this guy just absolutely he bursts into tears. This bloke who's been watching this guy, he just starts crying and wailing and carrying on like anything. And it's embarrassing, it really is. I mean, grown man crying like that. And this guy, even though he's a big burly guy, a trucker, he says, "Hang on, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to upset you so much. I'll buy you another one." He said, No, you don't understand. I went to work this morning. It's the worst day of my whole life. I went to work this morning and I had my brand new car, and on the way it was written off, destroyed. My brand new car, not insured. And then I got to work, and I've been working there for 20 years, and I lost my job. They sacked me on the spot. And then I went home, and my wife had walked out with my best friend and left me. He said, "This is the worst day of my life, and I've been sitting here, trying to pluck up my courage to take my life, and you come over and drink my poison."
Yes. There's a reason we cut Jim's joke from.
I did tell you.
I know. It's my fault.
I did tell you my jokes are Christmas cracker quality, very low.
It was my fault. I'm sorry.
Don't ask me again.
I'll try not to. You, Reno, has said, "Jim, congrats on getting Jim for Gyms through the worst council in Australia." We'll keep that on the down low. Were there some last-minute talks, or were they just sick of the social media campaign?
I just think we wore them into the ground.
Yeah, we did run a pretty mean social media campaign. We were bombarding them with that hashtag.
Yeah.
Got them to respond a few times. So I think they just finally got there after
I don't know.
a lot of years. All right, we'll go to our next question in the audience from Nick. Nick.
Hi, Jim. What's been your most favourite ever Christmas present that you've received?
Oh, just stuff from my kids. When my kids make something for me. Actually, if you have a look at the day in the life of Jim, of me, you'll actually see the stuff on the wall that my kids have done for me. Just presents, little drawings, little statements, what my dad's like, and pictures of deer and all kinds of things like that, all over the place. That's my best present. I mean, it's priceless. You can't buy it. You could go to a shop, with $1 million in your hand, and say, "I want to buy a genuine Aaron Penman drawing." They can't do it. You see, they don't have them. They're priceless.
See, I thought you were going to say like a big Lego Death Star, like the really big one's got like a little Lego Emperor Palpatine, Ray. Best present you've ever got?
Best present I've got was we were actually doing a photo shoot for Jim's Pest Control, and a photographer snuck a shot of myself holding my son, and Steph had it done up in black and white, and that's the best picture I've ever had. Got that for Christmas, and I still look at it today and go, "That's just an amazing shot."
It was a pretty good shot for it just to be
candid.
And he just snuck it. He didn't even know it happened. It wasn't until he sent it through and got, "Wow." It wasn't until Christmas Day that I actually saw it.
Sure.
Yeah, he sent it to me as a secret and said, "Hey, this is a really good picture," and I went, "Too right? That's a really good picture.
Yeah.
That's a really good present."
Yeah.
So yeah, but we do have some from the girls. We've got older girls as well, and they've got one was made out of popsicle sticks, and it's like this little box you can put stuff in. So yeah, we've still got that on the bench and stuff. So yeah,
just a simple presents from the kids.
Yeah.
When my oldest son was in kindergarten, which must have been about 30 years ago, he got this jam tin. And he had sticking, the popsicle sticks around it and glued them on.
Yeah.
I still use that on my desk. All my pens go in it. It's getting a bit battered. Some of the sticks have come off, but that's my container.
Yeah, so thank you for that one, Nick. Now, Glenn Sharp has said again, guys, I do have a question in regards to how to get rid of a Pasplum. I don't know whether that's supposed to be a possum in Sir Water Buffalo.
Paspalum, I think.
Paspalum?
I think she's talking about weeds.
Oh, right, Paspalum, right, there you
They're
go.
not the right people to
Not the right people. I thought we were talking about, so Paspalum.
Well, we can answer that for you.
Yeah.
Just 131546 and ask for Jim's phone.
How would you get
They're
rid of
your
them?
local experts.
We are indeed.
Actually, I tell you what, I hate poisons. I really do.
Mm.
On my farm, actually, I've got these prickles, these nasty thistles. I go around just cutting them out by hand.
Mm.
And you can get rid of those things eventually just by cut them out individually. I don't like poisoning stuff.
Yeah.
I don't use any chemical fertilizers, any pesticides, anything like that.
Yeah.
Just manual work.
We used to have this wand that made steam, and you'd steam the weeds, and it would kill the weeds.
Yeah.
First, I don't
There
know,
was
whatever.
because I come from an agricultural background. There was a machine that would actually go along and it would lay a 6 foot wide foam, and that would be a high heat content in bubbles.
Yeah.
And that would actually just kill all the weeds.
But it killed the plants too.
Yeah, but this was just to clean make the ground bare before then planting.
I'm not sure this is going to do well for actually getting rid of paspalum amongst them.
No. Just
You kill the whole lawn.
Yeah.
Hey, no more paspalum.
There's no weeds.
The problem's gone. Yeah, what problem's gone?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then they can call
You should have
gyms
specified.
They can call gyms in then.
Then they
them-
can
get
do
it to
Jim's
Wayne
landscaping
again.
and they can put out.
It's an upsell.
A better
Genius.
See?
So Jesse has gone with the new electric trailer for mowing working so well. Is there any plans to integrate into other divisions? So the solar trailer that we've made with Ego.
Yeah. Something we could actually look for the pest control division, because we are becoming more environmentally friendly and trying to use less chemicals in the environment. So a lot of the guys are actually now going to electric backpacks. So having a solar powered charging on that's a good possibility.
What do you electric backpacks for?
For spraying and for general pest treatments these days. Yeah. So we go away from big tanks and a lot of chemicals and just dousing the environment to more targeted approach. So something simple like I've got some ants. We just put out some ant bait to get rid of the ants, and very effective. They drag it back to the nest and do the job. It leaves the environment pristine. Yeah,
because I think there are some divisions, things like dog wash, that would really benefit from a solar powered trailer. You wouldn't have to plug into your franchise to your client's house. So you could skip that process.
We have a franchisee looking at it for her trailer at the moment.
Yeah, so a franchisee looking at it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Fully self-contained.
Yeah, you can even get rid of your gas bottle as well if you could do the heating through solar as well. So something definitely doable, I think.
Interesting idea.
Yeah, certainly something to look into. Yeah.
Bit of a prototype.
Is there any other divisions that you could think would benefit from a solar power?
I don't know. I mean, something like your fences could actually be using that kind of stuff.
Yeah, battery powered guns. Nail guns.
Like nail guns.
Yeah.
On Jim Sol.
Yeah, Jim Sol. Well, I think they're already on solar at the moment. So thank you for that one, Jesse. And then David has said hi, Jim and friends. So thank you, David. Remember, leave a comment for Jim or our pest control friends. Ali has said hello, team. So hello, Ali. And then we'll go to the next question from Matthew.
Jim, your Christmas tree, fake or real?
Real. We have a real Christmas tree.
Yeah.
You go and cut it from a farm. I don't know whether that's environmentally bad or what, really.
Do you like the smell of pine?
Yeah. Oh, Lee likes the real tree. So we have it in. It makes a big mess and drops leaves all over the place. And, What about yourself? What do you use?
Fake.
Fake.
Yeah, just easier.
We're pest control, so definitely fake, because we know what's hiding in the pine trees.
Although you'd recommend everyone else use real.
Yeah.
Use real. Yeah. Real's fantastic.
They are the
Those
best.
really cute possums that come in the pine trees are really cool.
And you, Renault, has said, hi, Stephen Linton. If you weren't running Jim's Termite and Pest Control, what do you think you would be doing instead? And do you think you'd be as happy?
Because originally we started in pest control even before we joined Jim's. Originally Stephanie was in childcare doing that, and I was actually working for Coles, and we weren't really happy there working the hours. So doing pest control and meeting clients and helping fix their problems, and we've got such a wide range of services that we offer, keeps us amused. Like even today, I've been doing it for 10, 12 years, and I'm still amazed. I go to a client's place and I still want to fix their problem. So I'm probably a pestie at heart now, and always will be a pestie until I'm 70, 80 years old. Yeah.
I couldn't imagine doing anything else just because, well, I couldn't go back working for somebody else. So, I would have to be doing something for myself because, being able to go, you know what, I'm going shopping today, or it's my birthday and I'm not going to do any work, or, I want to work in my pajamas for half the day until I have to actually get dressed, then, you can't do those things when you work for someone else. But, yeah, I don't know what it would be if we weren't doing pest control, but it certainly wouldn't be childcare. That was too much.
And Jim, what would you be doing if you weren't running the Jim's group?
Can't imagine it, really. I mean, I always intended to be in science, to be a researcher of some kind. But how could I fund it if I didn't have a business? I think I've been lucky. I really do. I don't know that I've got any exceptional talent for business, but if I did something else, would it have worked as well?
Yeah, very interesting. Harrison Toth has said, as a franchisee, what is the worst habit the consumers in general have that you find the most annoying or difficult to work with?
Consumers.
So the people that you go out to as a franchise, what is the worst habit that consumers in general have that you find most annoying? So clients, I assume.
Well, most people are pretty good, actually. Most clients are very decent. The thing that really frustrates me the most is somebody who cannot be contacted. Now, I have cases every day. Somebody will ring them like 9 times. They'll send 3 texts and an email, and then the client will answer a survey and said, nobody ever contacted me. How on earth they get anything done, I don't know. Some people are amazingly difficult to get onto.
Probably the most annoying thing for most franchisees in the pest control division is they'll ring a client up and they'll book a time and say, yeah, we're coming here at 10 o'clock at that. And the guys are really punctual at getting there on time. And this is just a day or 2 days before. That's, oh, yeah, no, it's all good. And they'll rock up at 10 o'clock. Client's not there, door's locked up, no one's there, and it's just really frustrating. And then the client's not answering the phone. So it becomes, that's probably the most annoying thing because the guys like to be punctual.
And it results in a lot of wasted time.
Yeah.
So Glenn Sharp has said, thank you for answering my questions and look forward to my info pack and may come over to Jim's. Merry Christmas. So thank you for that. Glenn will...
Glenn, come over and say hello. I try to meet every one of my trainees during training if I can.
Yeah, and you could be part of the live audience. So come along. It's a great show. So had this question come through in the week from Nick. It was, in this day and age of social media, should franchisees be allowed to promote themselves with their own Facebook pages?
Well, they can. They just can't put it in the title. So this is the rule. So if you can have your own Facebook page, then during the course of it, you say, I'm with Jim's Pest Control, that's fine. But you don't have a social page saying Jim's Pest Control because that cuts across everybody else's rights.
Yeah.
That's what we established.
Plus we find that they don't actually get a lot of work from it. Like everyone goes, oh, I can get a lot of work from it, but you go on there and they might have 1 or 2 people who are actually their friends who actually know that they already do pest control and they could do it that way. But yeah, it creates more problems than it's worth. And sometimes people get onto Facebook and they start having an argument with somebody, and you don't want them to be arguing with a client and stuff like that. And you really got to be careful what you're putting on Facebook. And you might have a view on something that doesn't necessarily bond well with others.
Also, too, Facebook takes a lot of time because you've got to, to do it well, you've got to regularly post and have something interesting and that people want to go and view. And if you just say, oh, I'll set a page up and I'm here, well, that's not going to do anything. On our Facebook state pages, there's probably 500 or 600 or 700 posts of different photos and different videos and that which the guys are doing, which is interesting for people. So yeah, it's a funny one.
Yeah, because franchisees have great content though. So like we get a lot of things sent to the group, things like they've just finished a mow or they've just finished a dog wash, and so we share that, and that's great content. And, there are people that sort of do have their own sort of Instagram that they use for their business, and they post sort of every day. And it's I think it sort of will be a sort of a big thing, sort of maybe down the line. But
people need to be trained to use it properly. It's not just a...
They can also send that information to their franchisor or whoever does the divisions one, and it can go on there. And if you've got 20, 30, 40 people following you, and you get them to, hey, like this page, and then all of a sudden the other pages are getting more and they're getting out there as well. So instead of everyone trying to have 20, 30 people, if you've got all 4,000 franchisees with all of theirs all into the Jim's one, you'd have massive following.
And you think, we've got a great Jim's group page which has got 9,000 plus likes on it.
Yeah, getting there.
If you put something on there, you're going out to probably 100,000, 200,000 people. So that's really powerful. So what I'd say to franchisees is actually give it good content, actually give it to national and get them to put it out there.
Yeah. So if you ever want to send something in, video@jims.net. We check that pretty regularly. Anything you send us, we'll put up there. So always send it in. We'll go to David back in the audience.
Hi Jim, I'm just interested to know what's on the menu for Christmas lunch this year.
What will we do for Christmas lunch? Oh, just at home. My wife's a pretty good cook.
You have complained about her cooking before.
She's actually...
It's on video. We had Lee on the live stream, and Jim spent a good 2-3 minutes laying into her cooking. It was too spicy. That's what you said.
Oh no, that's the stuff that she eats. The herd food is disgusting. This is like rice porridge and pickles and stuff. No normal human being eats that stuff. What she cooks for us is very nice. She does a really good veggie lasagna. Beautiful. She's just got the recipe and everybody loves it. In fact, she'd make this huge thing and we eat some of it and the rest of it goes in the next couple of days. No, Lee can cook well. It's her food that's horrible. So what happens at the table? We're all having this lovely vegetable lasagna, very cheesy, probably not, it's all the vegetables, really, really good stuff. And she's sitting there with her pickles and her rice porridge and that's what I was having a go at. Come on.
Yeah.
Right, sorry, not her cooking. It was the thing she cooks for herself.
She cooks for herself. It's absolutely disgusting. And Sichuanese food is so hot. It's horrible. I mean, no normal person could eat this stuff and like it. I tell you what. But she cooks beautifully, actually. But the thing is, she doesn't even taste it. She doesn't even taste her own cooking because she doesn't like what she cooks for us.
There you go. Christmas dinner, what are we doing?
For lunch, we're going to my brother's, so I have no idea. All I know is we're having at least a pavlova because Montana has to cook the pavlova. But
and Christmas tea will be a nice pork and beef roast done over charcoal.
Can't beat it.
So it should be nice.
Can't beat it. We'll go over to Aiden. This could be a fun one.
Jim, first
You got
of
a big
all,
grin on your face there. You might be something back coming out.
what was that?
it's like trouble.
There's a big grin on your face, big cheesy grin. I can tell something's coming out of this.
First of all, do you have a favourite Christmas carol, and could you kindly sing it for us all?
Listen, we have got an audience of if I start singing, we'll lose everybody, believe me.
We could do Jim's karaoke. Jim's joke doesn't work, but we haven't tried Jim's karaoke. You got to have a Christmas carol.
I don't know, Jay, I have to remind you, I pay your wages. If you keep on being rude to me, you might find yourself with a zero pay packet one of these days.
Your Christmas bonus is nothing. No pay.
I can remember the year I first became a Christian listening to carols like Little Town of Bethlehem and it's not so musically great, but it's just this music that I've heard all my life, and suddenly you know what it means. It was quite an amazing experience. I can remember that vividly. I'm not going to sing it though.
How does that sound? I was just about to say, I can't actually remember that one. Can you, how does it go? Just a little. Just a little. Just the first couple of words.
Oh, little town of Bethlehem, how still we see thee lie.
That's pretty good. That's as much as I can do for you. Thank you. That's about as much as I can do for you.
I can recite stuff. One of these days I'll recite Jabberwocky to you.
Oh, go on. We've got time.
Was brillig in the slidey toad, did gyre and gimble in the wave. All mimsy were the borogoves and the main wraths outgrave. Beware the Jabberwock, my son, the claws that bite, the jaws that snatch. Beware the Jub bird and shun the frumious bandersnatch. He took his vorpal sword in hand. Long time the manxome foe he thought, then rested he by a tum-tum tree and stood a while in thought. And as in uffish thought he stood, the Jabberwock with eyes of flame came waffling through the tolgy wood and burbled as it came. 1, 2, 1, 2, and through the vorpal sword went stick-a-stack. He left it dead, and with his head he went galumphing back. And hast thou slain the Jabberwock? Come to my arms, my beamish boy. O fragile day, Calloo Calais, he chortled in his joy.
I don't know whether that does it for you, Aiden.
And believe me, that is a lot better than my singing. Not that it's saying very much.
So can you recite that back? Or? No. I couldn't even start now.
But actually, that poem, that's from Through the Looking Glass, actually, it brought a award, it was chortled, comes from that poem. The rest of the words are complete nonsense. They're all made up, but they sound good.
Oh, that's good. I thought I was having a stroke. So Nigel, we'll go your question.
Oh, my in-depth question. Jim, Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
What's your favourite reindeer?
Rudolph, I guess. There's a story about this couple who were in Moscow. This is in the days of the Soviets, and they had a guide who was called Rudolph. He was an ardent communist, and he was so crazy about communism. They used to call him Rudolph the Red, and they were having a pretty miserable time about this, and they were in their hotel room, and it was just bleak and drizzly and stuff like that, and they were starting to argue with each other, whether it was raining or snowing, and he thought it was snowing, and she thought it was raining, and they were arguing back and forth. Let's ask Rudolph the Red what he thinks, and they asked Rudolph, is it snowing or is it raining? And Rudolph says, "Da, it is raining." And the guy said, "No, it's definitely snowing. I don't care what he says." And she said to him, "Don't you think Rudolph the Red knows reindeer?"
Did you just sneak another joke in?
Oh, that is a definite Christmas cracker joke.
But you wouldn't sing for us. Favourite reindeer without a joke.
Blitzen.
I can't even think of one. I like Rudolph, really. I like his big Rudolph.
There you are. There's a fellow Rudolph fan for you.
Go Rudolph. No one likes him, so...
Alrighty. So Eric has gone, how is the Star Wars film night going? You're doing a film night. I think you were doing a marathon with your son, I think at one stage you said, maybe?
Yeah, we did. Yeah. We went right through them. We went all through the 7 films. We haven't got the latest one yet, of course. And we'll do it again soon, actually. I think it's great. Yeah. It was really fun.
And new Renault has gone, Jim, have you seen the new Star Wars series, The Mandalorian? We already asked that yet. If so, what do you think so far? Haven't seen it, but it's on your watch list, so we'll be sure to take a look. David McDonald said, how is the Monopoly going? So I do have an update for you. I've got to send this through. We've got the agreement.
Yes.
So we're good to go, right? We've got to sign this agreement and then start on all the artwork. And then it's sort of going to be a 3-4 month turnaround.
Wow, that'll be great.
So Monopoly should be coming around.
I think Jim's Monopoly will be great. It'll be the game of the.
One in every household, right next to Cluedo.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Jim's Monopoly. Breach. Go to breach.
Oh, cool.
Do not pass payday. Do not collect $200.
I do have some bad news for you though.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to change the corner squares, so you're not allowed to have go to breach. It would have to be jail.
Oh,
that was the one thing they will not let us change. That's Hasbro. So that's I was waiting for a time to break that to you. I can't have.
So you chose live.
Yeah. I figured now's a good time. I forget otherwise.
I am sadly disappointed.
Yeah. I know. Do you want to cancel Jim's Monopoly?
Can't we get a little sticker just? To
We'll include a sticker in every box. Yeah. That's smart. We'll do that. All right. So I think we're just about going to wrap up. Did you guess the theme for tonight's question?
Well, it's Christmas.
It was a Christmas theme. Yeah, very much in the silly season.
Hard not to get that one.
It was very on the nose, that one. We'll do some prizes. So we've got dog wash hamper. Who do we want to give that to? Do we have a favourite question for the dog wash hamper?
I don't know. They're all equally bad tonight.
I liked the one about favourite Christmas present.
Favourite Christmas present?
Yeah, I thought that was too. I like the question about what you do if you weren't doing what you're doing.
Yeah, that was a good
That's
question.
a tough one. It's really hard to think about. Whoever asked that one?
Yeah, well, I'll find out who asked that, and we'll give that to them. I think that might have been you, so we'll give him the Christmas hamper. Now we've got 2 $100 gift cards.
Wow, I don't know. What do people think? What do you reckon the best question?
The best question was the guy that asked, I've already got a well-established business. Why should I join Jim's?
That was
a good question.
That was Glenn. So we'll.
And now we can have $100 to find out what's so good about Jim's.
To find out what's Jim's, and he can have a gym service come around.
I think that was. Oh no, sorry, that was Eric. They asked, had the friends about the well-established business.
What about asking the audience? What do you reckon was the best question?
Best question of the evening?
Everyone's
going to say you're right.
Wow. Can't be your own. Can't be your own.
Tell us what you reckon is the...
Christmas Carol?
Christmas Carol.
It did lead to some pretty good stuff, so do you want to give
All
the
right,
Christmas
Carol is fine.
All right.
That was, yeah, this guy.
Yeah,
the guy with
great.
the cheesy grin.
Yeah.
And he's got a beard too.
What's my hat?
Well, he puts a hat on and changes his name to Jim by need probably be right.
That's what I'm going for.
Yeah.
And we'll give away a couple of books as well, signed books. Did you have another two favourite questions? Do you want to give out one of these to another audience question? So they won't have this one yet.
I don't know. Good questions, but
What about the where do you see gyms in 2 years?
Cut your grass.
Oh, cut your grass. Does anyone ever cut your grass?
you can ask that one if you like. But.
All right, you're getting a book. All right. So that'll probably do us for tonight. Thank you, Linton and Stephanie, for coming along. Thank you, Jim, as always. Be sure to tune in next week. Joel will be back 7 p.m. Wednesday. Thank you to all the franchisees for sticking around. Hope you had a good time. All right, we'll catch you next week, guys. See you later.